for other people to get here, but y'all already know what time it is. It's your boy, Joe T. I'm feeling good. I'm back, bigger than ever. Shout out to the person who jumped in the comment section and asked me, had I been getting rest? Listen to me, I've been on go. I be getting rest, but not the rest my body probably been needing here recently, because let me tell y'all something about this social media stuff, man. What people don't understand, it has a high demand for your time and energy when you get into this. Matter of fact, the entrepreneur life within itself has a high demand of your time and energy. And sometimes you get so caught up in it, you don't realize that you need rest, and you don't realize you really need to take your time and moments to enjoy it. Me, I've never made the kind of money that I make now, so it's a fear of losing it. So I just go and go and go and go and go, because I don't want to ever go back to the place of where I was mentally, spiritually, and most definitely financially. Another thing, man, before I get into this story, what's up, my guy? What you got going on, family? Another thing before I get into this, man, if you want some kind of personal development, like a life coach, I am finna go ahead and take that turn. I've been told over and over, I've been asked for mentorship over and over, and a lot of times I've shied away from it because I knew I was in the process of still building what I've been building. But yeah, we can do that, my guy. But at this point, you know, I've built, and it just seems like I can't escape being a mentor even when I'm not trying to be a mentor. So if you're looking for mentorship, if you want to learn social media, you want some tips to help with your business, if you just need some guidance in your personal life, different perspective on things, you want some advice on something, relationship advice, business advice, whatever the personal development within yourself, issues you could be having going on internally, I'm doing all of that on my Patreon from now, for now, because we finished up the first series of traps. I'm in the process of getting that on Tubi, and until I get that on Tubi, I'm taking a break from filming. So if you want the personal development, you're gonna have to either be on Patreon or you're gonna have to be on the membership on my YouTube. If you ain't got the membership, go get the membership. In that, what's gonna come with that is direct contact to me. If you send when you send messages, because I know it's gonna get overwhelming, it's probably gonna get a little crowded. Appreciate that super chat. Direct contact, get on the phone, we'll get on Zoom, we'll limit the time, and we'll do what we need to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna probably do that, try to do that once a week with, you know what I'm saying, until I can see what the numbers are and how that looks. But most definitely, if you need help with whatever you need help with, if it's in my lane of something that I know how to do, I'm doing that. But you're gonna have to either have the membership on Patreon, you're gonna have to have the membership on YouTube, or you're gonna have to have the Patreon. So yeah, any kind of personal development in your life, that's what's going on. What's going on, man? Y'all hit your boy with the super chats. Appreciate the super chats already. One time for the one time. Man, I had a great weekend, man. I got a lot of rest mentally, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell y'all something before I get in this story, man. Life's for everybody. I'm gonna tell y'all that now. Life be lifing for everybody, man. And sometimes you gotta check on your strong people. Let's not get this confused. A lot of people watch my social media and probably think I don't never run into issues, I don't never run into problems, or I don't have weekdays. Man, for the last 2 weeks, man, I kind of been, I don't want to say down, but I've most definitely been having a moment where, you know, things done stopped. You know what I'm saying? I got used to being around my team. I got used to filming all the time. I had a relationship at that time. It's so much done changed in a short period of time within the last month or two. I done had to sit back and reset a lot of things. And sometimes, you know, people are afraid of resetting, people are afraid of stopping. People just want to keep going and kind of keep their keep their foot on the gas. But the Most High, man, most definitely will cause a force of detachment from things when you don't know how to pay attention to the signs of doing it yourself. And when the forceful detachment happens, it's harder on your flesh because, yeah. Tia, that's a good question. That story I probably won't ever get to tell. If I ever do tell it, it'll probably be in another year or so. But most definitely, that's a tough one. But yeah, most definitely gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? I feel good though. I'm good. I'm good. Trayvon Hobson. I'm good, man. I'm feeling 10 times better. I'm feeling 10 times better for sure. I'm feeling 10 times better. Y'all hit that super chat one time for your boy. Man, I want to do this story right here. I want to do this story right here based on I want to talk about addiction, man. Let me tell y'all, man, addiction is so real. Before I get into this, man, addictions are so real. You know what I'm saying? They say it's one in every family. My brother, I'm gonna start. It's hard to deal with now I wasn't locked up with Bill. My brother got his own issues. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard to look at. It's hard to face. It's hard to talk about. And we live in a society where people don't care nothing about giving or serving your family members. And we also have to understand that the addict is just not the person who's doing the substance. The addict is most definitely the hustler too. When I look back at my life, I realized that I thought I was only serving addicts, and the truth of the matter is I was an addict. I don't know what your drug of choice is, but I promise you, it ain't gotta be weed. It doesn't have to be cocaine. It doesn't have to be alcohol. Whatever the world has put out here that what a drug is. I promise you, there's way more addictions out here in this world, and addictions will distract you. Addictions will destroy you. Addictions will mislead you. Addictions will have you confused. Addictions will delay your blessings. Addictions will keep you from becoming who you're supposed to be in life. Because even when I was in the streets, one thing that I come to understand was the chasing and the chasing and the chasing kept me distracted. I heard somebody tell me one time, they said, this is around the time one of my homeboys was doing music. And this dude told him, he said, man, matter of fact, his name is Hurt, man. Shout out to Hurt. I remember Hurt telling somebody, if you're gonna do music, you gotta have both feet in. You can't be doing music and somewhat still be in the streets, because you ain't gonna never give it your all. And that made sense, because anytime I was in the streets, I realized I starved the mission. I starved out what could have made me great. A lot of times people, man, don't realize that what you think is helping you progress and giving you motion and getting you further along in life is really keeping you from being even greater. Because in all of that effort you gotta put in trying to get away with something or trying to distract yourself with something, if you can starve that and put it into what you know could make you great, it's gonna take time. It's gonna be a process, because you gotta even realize it took time and a process for you to even build up whatever that addiction is. You just gotta have the discipline to walk away from that and put that time and effort in something else. And that's how I've built my life now. I can starve that, and I can take time to put all my energy into this, and it has worked for me. And don't hit me with that as different strokes for different folks, because I promise you, if you make your mind up and you say I'm gonna do this, it's gonna work for you too. I've never met a person in this life, I've met another person in this world, once they made their choice, that life didn't become better for them. That once people make their mind up to walk away from their relationship that is not working, their life got better. Once that person made their mind up to walk away from their job because they was it was a fear of becoming an entrepreneur. Once they got into entrepreneurship, it was probably some bumps in the road, but it started to work. Once you decided to walk away from that friendship that was draining to you, eventually the Most High put some better people in your life, or you learn just how to be by yourself, and that worked for you. If you ain't hit your boy with a super chat yet, hit your boy with a super chat. For the people who just now getting here who did not hear me, I'm getting into personal development, but you're gonna have to either be on the membership or you're gonna have to be on my Patreon. Now, what comes with the personal development type of thing is I'm gonna respond to messages, I'm gonna put them on, I'm gonna do videos to the message. If you got any messages about, you know what I'm saying, something that you can work on, something that you're trying to do, ideas you're trying to create, trying to learn social media, I got you. As a matter of fact, it's I forgot bro name, man. A brother messaged me the other day. He asked me about PTSD. He asked me about how to deal with it, if I'm remembering correctly. He asked me about PTSD. Appreciate that super chat. Now, I didn't realize I had PTSD. I'm talking to the brother. If you got any questions, just drop them in the chat right now. Appreciate that, David Norris. I see you, my guy. Appreciate that. That's love. Appreciate, who is this right here to sit this 5? Appreciate that, Quiz. Appreciate that. PTSD. I didn't even know what PTSD was till I moved to Dallas about 2 years ago. I didn't because the PTSD that I had, I dealt with it with how I was dealing with it and not knowing that that's what I was dealing with, because I was coping with it probably the same way everybody in my hood and my environment back home cope with it. We just go through life knowing that it's something wrong, but we don't know what it is. And the only thing we know to do is continue to keep doing what we're doing, because that's what's make us look like we strong. So when I moved to Dallas, this is how I found out I had PTSD. It was certain things, like I came out of the gym one day. I was working out, it was like 12 o'clock at night. I come out of the gym and I was jogging. And as I was jogging, I saw the police. And when I seen the police, I quit jogging, because in my mind, I was thinking to myself, they gonna see a black man running, they gonna think something is wrong. And you know what I'm saying? So that, I didn't realize that was a form of PTSD. Another thing I realized, I was driving, and when I used to like to go to the hood. I used to like to go to the hood everywhere. It don't matter what state that I went to, I always wanted to see the hood, right? So when I would go through the hoods, it was always a feeling that I would have, and then it was certain things that would get triggered. So I was explaining some of my feelings to somebody one day, and they was like, that's PTSD. I was like, what? They was like, that's PTSD. And so, for one, I didn't realize what it was until I had got away from where the sense of norm was coming from with the PTSD. It couldn't be identified. So once I started experiencing these things, and somebody told me, I said, okay, now to my homeboy who asked about that, you acknowledge that you have the PTSD. Now, the second thing was, how do I now deal with the PTSD? For me, coming from my background, was realizing that, I've did therapy before. For me, realizing that some of the things, appreciate that quiz, some of the things that I was putting in my mind was because of my history of things that I experienced. I didn't want new friendships because I didn't have trust. I didn't want a new relationship because I haven't had good experiences from them relationships. These things were stuck in the back of my mind, and it was keeping me from growing. So the one thing I started to do, I wouldn't let people know where I wouldn't let people know where I lived. None of that. And a lot of that comes from PTSD. So what's up with you, Ryan? So what I did was, appreciate that, Melvin Burton. Appreciate that, my guy. So what I did was I started taking baby steps. I started making sure that I got in trustworthy environments and around people, reading their character and understanding that these people aren't, but I took baby steps to let them people in my life. Now, once I would let them people into my life, it would bring down my anxiety, because it brought into reality that everybody's not the same. Everybody's not gonna treat you the same. Everybody's not trying to get over on you. Everybody's not trying to take advantage of you. Everybody ain't trying to use you. Everybody don't have a hidden agenda. Everybody ain't trying to be slick, because that PTSD was trying to travel with me everywhere I went, in every realm of life that I was in. It was keeping me from becoming better for myself and what I'm doing. So I took baby steps in bringing people around. Then here's another thing that's been hard for me in the beginning, but over time it became better. What's up, Corey? Appreciate that. Memphis, M-Town or No Town. I've always been vulnerable online. I'm somewhat vulnerable in person too, but I gotta know you. So I allow my vulnerability to guide me too. If I can't be vulnerable with how I feel around you, I know not to even have you around me, because I realized that talking about my problems around people, I quit doing it because people started using it as ammunition. But I realized I needed to get around people that I could trust with my pain, with my frustration, with my hurt. You know what I'm saying? That they got my best interest, because I'm also gonna be that to them. That helped with my PTSD. The scripture say, man, it say, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that means to form new ideas. That was probably one of the hardest things for me to do. One of the hardest things for me to do is realize that every man that I see ain't selling dope. Every man that I get around ain't trying to rob people. Everybody ain't on something slick. I had to change my thought process, and in doing that, I was also becoming that. I'm becoming something that it said, be the change that you want to see. I'm becoming something, but for some reason my lens ain't allowing me to see that in other people. So I had to readjust my lens for that reason too, and bringing people, so that helped with my PTSD. Meditation. I used to be very big on taking time to myself and sitting down and really tuning out. You know what I'm saying? I used to read a lot. It helped me with my meditation. I don't know what hobby would help that you have that can help you with PTSD, but hobbies are also help with your PTSD. And find somebody that has similar hobbies. That way you can build a relationship with somebody that you have something in common with, and before you know it, you know what I'm saying, that'll help too. So they help with the PTSD. But if you got any questions, man, you could DM me on Instagram, BAKER. Man, I'm finna jump into this personal development thing, man. Almost like a life coach situation. Whatever it is, if it's in my lane or my area, and I can help, if I done experienced it, or I got some kind of knowledge in the lane, whether it be social media, marketing, writing a book, clothes, whatever the case. Appreciate that, JT. Whatever the case may be, if I can do it, hit me up. I'll answer some questions on Instagram, you know what I'm saying, here and there. But if you want the personal development and have the direct access to me, you either gonna have to have a membership, and that membership link should be on here somewhere, or you're gonna have to be on my Patreon. I can't seem to get away from mentorship. Everywhere I go, it seems like I'm answering questions. So at this point, I say, you know what? I might as well just jump into it and do it. But man, hey, if you ain't hit your boy with a super chat like Omar Dove did, just go ahead and hit your boy with a super chat one time for the one time. Man, life has been good. Life has been great. And guess what? It's only going to get greater. Let me tell you something before I start this story real quick. Don't be pessimistic in your thoughts. Be optimistic in everything you do, because as a man thinketh, so is he. A lot of people, you wonder why you keep having them bad experiences and you keep on running into these bad luck moments. It's because you really manifesting them in your mind. You don't think nothing good can last for too long. I need the mentorship. Go on and get that, Simone. You really don't believe that nothing can last too long. You always waiting for that. What's going on with you, my guy? You always waiting for that moment where, boom, I just knew it wasn't going to last long. You really done trained yourself to think that way. You really done trained yourself to think that way, and that's why things happen the way that it happen. That's the same way you getting up feeling tired. You know why you getting up feeling tired? Because you keep telling yourself you tired. You speaking that into your system. Everything you talking and you saying it to your spirit. That's why a lot of people stay sick. I was dealing with this girl before, and she used to always be sick. But that's all you ever talked about. Every time I don't feel good. You saying that to your body. You saying it to you. You saying it. So that's why it's happening the way that it's happening. And you tired because you keep telling yourself you tired. You keep telling yourself you can't be an entrepreneur. You keep going to work. You got to ask yourself questions. You got to say stuff to yourself to make yourself realize you can do it too. I started watching stuff that speak to my spirit. I don't like watching fight videos. I don't like watching stuff that ain't got nothing to do with what I don't do. What I don't want to do. You sit over here, you entertain, and you want, because you watching that stuff and you speaking that stuff over your life. Listen, quit thinking things won't last, because they'll last. Appreciate all the super chats. I see y'all coming through for the boy one time, but you got to start speaking life over yourself, because I promise you, life and death is in the power of the tongue. You say you're a billionaire, you can be a billionaire, but guess what? Once you start speaking it over your life, what most people are afraid of down on Cherry Lane. What most people are afraid of the work, though. Most people are afraid of the work. You're going to speak it over your life, also speak over the action. And you got to start asking for guidance. You got to start asking for patience. You got to start asking, you know what I'm saying, for direction. And when them direction come, don't start saying to yourself, that's too much. That's too tedious. That's going to take too long. Also start speaking over yourself. I can do that. I can do that. It's going you can admit, it's gonna take some time, it's gonna be hard, but I'm gonna get through. One of my favorite things to say to myself is I'm competitive. And people don't realize when I'm saying that, I'm only speaking to my spirit for me to go. Look, now, I'm gonna say this real quick. If you used to watch my old motivational video, I used to always talk about B. Lee Silly. I used to talk about me being better than the E.T. the hip hop preacher, being bigger than him. And when I get through with this, I'm gonna hit y'all with the story. So I hadn't watched E.T. the hip hop preacher in about 5-6 months since I left out of the house, right? So the other day I started back listening to it because I've been needing to pour into myself. I've been needing to pour into myself. That's a word for somebody. You need to start pouring into yourself. Quit expecting them people around you to do it that you've been waiting for, because you've been pouring into them and they ain't been pouring into you, right? So I started watching E.T. the hip hop preacher the other day. I get up, I gotta run somewhere. I drive on the other side of town, 45 minutes. When I get over and do what I need to do, I said, I'm finna go to the mall. After I said, you know what, I don't even want to go to that mall, the Galleria Mall. I drive back on the other side of the town, where Town East Mall is. I get over, I said, I don't even feel like going to that mall, and they don't have a store in there that I like. I said, you know what, I'm gonna go back to Galleria. I drive 30 minutes back. Pay attention to the timing. Listen to me. Pay attention to timing. Timing is everything, and quit acting. When you get confirmation, Nicole, so many of us, and I've been guilty of it too. I ain't shooting no shot at you. I'm just glad you said the word, because I felt it in my spirit. A lot of times we get confirmation, and it's only good for us in that moment to shout and worship and be grateful and thankful, and we do not act on what it was we saw. So I drive back to the Galleria Mall. I get in there. I'm not in this mall 15 minutes. E.T. the hip hop preacher was in front of me. No security, just him and his wife. Biggest motivational speaker in the world. He was standing, he was walking right in front of me. I hadn't listened to him in 5 months. When I seen him, I caught chills, and it wasn't because of his status or who he was. I looked at, because he turned his head a little bit and I could see. I said, is that E.T.? Like, wait a minute. So I started walking in the same direction he was walking in. He turned to go somewhere. I said, E.T. He turned around. He said, man, what's up with you? I said, man, I ain't doing nothing. I said, man, just chilling. I said, I see you with your wife. I said, I was just speaking. He said, oh, that what's up? He said, man, you be blessed. Take care of yourself. I kept walking. In that moment right there, I said, that's the Most High trying to tell me over and over. I'm trying to show you. You've been watching this person. You always say you want to be, but you ain't putting in the work that you need to put in. You ain't doing, you done got distracted a little bit. You don't feel like you done got a little heavy. You don't feel like you got to keep your foot on the pedal. When I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and go home. I didn't even go get nothing out of the mall. I went on and left and came back home. That whole day I was in. A lot of us done heard a lot of confirmation, seen a lot of confirmation, and still we don't bust the move when that confirmation happened. I'm telling you, he telling you to trust him. So I went on and ordered 1,000 books. I ain't did that in 2 years. I ain't ordered 1,000 books in 2 years. I ain't did it in 2 years. I ain't been pushing my book in months. Every now and then you might hear me bring it up. I ain't pushed it in months. I said, you know what? I'm finna go and get these books. I'm finna get on the road. And out of the blue, somebody sent me a private, somebody sent me an event planner. I said, I'm watching the pieces come together. It's really on me to go ahead and do what I need to do for this to happen. Everything been cleared out in my life. Everything that was making noise and a distraction in my life, it's been removed. Right now, I'm in the most quietest place I've ever been in my life. It feels a little lonely, but guess what? I am probably the most focused I have been in the last year. In the last 2-3 weeks, I have been probably the most focused I have ever been in my life because I know what's about to go on. And I'm going to be ready for it when it happens. But okay, so boom, look, check this out real quick. Let me tell y'all about that time they jumped on my boy. They jumped on white boy Rick. So I'm sitting in the cell, I'm cool and I'm chilling, right? All of a sudden, dramatic effect me, please. He knock on the door, pop, 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 pop. Hey, Joe T, man, I need to holler at you for a minute, dog. I said, man, come on in, my guy. He popped the door. Pop. I'm looking at him, he looking at me, we looking at each other, right? I said, man, we're going. He said, man, hey, man, I know I've said something to you before, man. He said, man, you need to get you some more of that ice, man. He said, man, that ice got him staying up all night around here, man. I said, what? He said, man, listen, man, my cell has been down there up 2-3 days, man. I'm talking about he keeps calling his people every chance he get. He's running across the hall. That's why he's running back and forth across the hall the first day, right? And he hadn't said nothing to me, Joe T. So he comes back across the hall, and I'm realizing he was wired up. 2-3 of my homeboy around here just wired up like they done drunk 10 shots of coffee back. He said, man, that caffeine ain't got nothing on that ice, Joe T. Got nothing on that ice. He said, man, you know what, matter of fact, Joe T, I'm glad I wasn't out of paint a tantrum when that ice hit the streets. Now, I'm sure it's probably been around for a long time, but had I been out on the streets when that ice hit, Joe T, ain't no telling where I'd be right now. I was asking my girl about that stuff the other day. She said that ice got them people's teeth falling out there, Joe T. She said their teeth was falling out, going black and brown. She said she talking to a friend the other day. He was so embarrassed, he talking with his lip over the top of his teeth. She asked, why are you talking like that? And then he cracked a little smile. She said, that ice done knocked out 6 of his teeth, Joe D. I said, dude, what? Knocked out 6 of his teeth. She said she calls him Gumby now. I said, what? She said a couple of his teeth got cracks in them and stuff. I don't know what's in that ice, but I'm glad I wasn't out on the streets when it happened. But as he talking to me, he was a little wired himself. I said, oh, he most definitely done took him a hit of that ice again. And that now he said, but look, check this out, Joe T. So I got into it myself the other day. I hit a rough mud, right? I said, what happened? He said, so I'm laying down in the bunk. Every 2-3 minutes, man, he gets up out the bunk. And he's just doing stuff in the cell and he's dragging his feet. I could just hear dramatic effect, man, please. I could just hear. So finally, about the 3rd time, man, after he gets up out that bunk, Joe T, I raise up like the Undertaker. I raise straight up. I didn't push my hand. I raised straight up and said, hey, man, you quit dragging your feet in here, man. Then why you keep jumping off that bunk like that, man? You're not using the bathroom or anything. You keep walking up and checking that door like somebody's after you or something, man. He said, man, Joe T, this man turns around and said, don't worry about what I'm doing, silly, because you just lay down. Joe T, I sit there for a second and I said to myself, he's got to be on something to be talking to me that way in my cell. So at this point, I sits up on the bed, Joe T. I said, Sally, I said, what'd you say, Sally? He turns around and looks me and him. I'm looking at him. We're looking at each other, right? He said, Sally, you just need to mind your business. He said, so Joe T, at that point, I gets up off the bed. I said, say that one more time for me, Sally. My Sally, for the third time, tells me, this is my cell too. You need to mind your business. Joe T, I want to clean his clock in there, but I knew if I jumped on, we was gonna run. It's gonna be a lot of noise. It's quiet. It's lockdown time. Police were coming. I cocked my hand back this far, Joe T. Listen, my joint in my shoulder, Joe T, about popped out because I was gonna clean this clock, Joe T. I was gonna swing. I was gonna knock him out in there. I said, don't be doing that right there. I was about to knock him out in there, Joe T. So I just grabbed him and put him on the wall, and I told him, look, I'm pretty sure you're on that ice right now, but let me tell you something. That ice ain't gonna get to the point of knocking your teeth out, because if you say that to me one more time, talking about I need to mind my being in my cell that I don't allow you to move in, I'm gonna knock them teeth out before that ice does. Do you hear me? And I told him, now you get up in that bunk. Now, Joe T, he kept getting up, but he didn't get out of the bunk. I heard him up there moving around and doing all kinds, but he didn't jump up out of that bunk now another time. So, the next day, Joe T, you know that Muslim, Abdullah? I said, Abdullah? It was a white Muslim. Commercial break me, please. Abdullah, it was several white Muslims on the compound, but Abdullah was like the white Muslim that had a little pool that, you know what I'm saying, bust the move every little now and then, you know what I'm saying, probably had something going on. But Abdullah, let me tell you what he said. He said, I come to cell the other day, Abdullah was in my cell, Joe T. And I'm saying to myself, why is he in here with my cellie? Is this where he's getting that ice from? So as I'm in there, they was in there having a little conversation. He talking back there, both conversing, having a little conversation, right? And Abdullah was in there talking, no disrespect to you or anything, but Abdullah was in there talking about the black Islamic brothers. I said, what you mean? He was just in there just talking about, and he kept saying, you know, the black Muslim brothers always, and it was how he kept saying it. And then he said something like, you know, and then when it comes to these white brothers, you know, I gotta look after them and make sure. He just seemed a little biased. And but I also understood. I said, okay, it sounded like he trying to explain that black Muslims wasn't respecting the white brothers the same way. Same way black GDs somewhat didn't respect the white GDs, so they had to be a little more aggressive. They had to do certain things to get accepted on that level. I said, okay, maybe he feeling the same way in Islam. Because I'm gonna tell you something, even I don't believe in religion, I believe it's one faith. I believe it's one way to the Most High. So, but in religion, in the penitentiary, a lot of them move and run like gangs. Now, the Islam didn't do violations. They do what you call lashes. Now, if you don't know what a lash is, yeah, they gonna whip you on your back. They gonna I seen it happen a few times. I was sitting down earlier and I thought about it. I said, I ain't never talked about them Muslims doing lashes in the penitentiary. Like they're gonna smack you on your back. Like like don't do that no more. So I'm thinking about this. I said, Abdullah got them lashes that time. So so he's like, yeah, man, I think Abdullah's a little racist a little bit, but I ain't sure. Maybe he was just trying to take up for his white brothers. But while I was in there, my cellie says, you want another bunk before you leave. So at that point, you know, I just made it like I was doing what I was doing in the cell. And Abdullah said, just share it with your cellie. He said, man, Abdullah's doing eyes. He said, man, he said, now I know, I know probably during Ramadan in this cell, some of these Muslims probably, you know, eating a little pork here and there, but to be doing eyes, he said, man, if they find out about that, man, they gonna do something to him. So when he exposed that to me, 2-3 days go by, right? Abdullah done finessed white boy Rick into going to get some ice. He used, now white boy Rick, he done finesse white boy Rick into thinking he gonna get a better price going to who he go and get the ice from. So he tell white boy Rick, tell your girl to put for Abdullah on the what's her name when she send it. That way he'll know it's from me. He go get the ice and go get high with one of his brothers. White boy Rick goes looking for him, can't find him, start yelling his name. Abdullah! Hey Abdullah, man, what type of reindeer games you playing, man? Abdullah. And of course his Muslim brothers, hey, what's going on? What you looking for Ak for? What you looking for Ak for? You don't know why I'm saying Ak, and let me know you ain't never been a Muslim or in the penitentiary. If you ain't never been, or I advise you to never go. He said, hey, man, I'm trying to find your brother, man. He's like, man, you know, we got something going on. And of course, the Muslim brother being nosy, white boy Rick not knowing that Abdullah is under investigation at the time, because the Muslims done really got sick of him because they could tell he come off a little racist, like he wanna, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just looking like we got some business going on. Like he trying to fix white boy Rick when he like, man, it's penitentiary, man. What you talking about, man? That's a grown man. I ain't telling another grown man's business. What me and Abdullah got going on between me and Abdullah. So he find he go to the white Muslim cell, knock on the door, right? Hey Abdullah, man, you in there, man? Now, of course, it's somewhat disrespectful to be going and knocking on somebody else's cell, but it's money involved. Don't nobody care nothing about that when money is involved. They let white boy Rick in the cell. They jump white boy Rick. Now, I don't know who won, I don't know, but they ain't really bust him up, but he had a little scar. He had a little scratch across his jaw. So, across his cheekbone right here. So whatever happened in the cell, he comes out of the cell, comes straight to holler at me. Hey, Joe T, man, I need to holler at you, man. I popped the door. I said, man, what's the case, man? Watch the man bless this cell, man. I'm looking at him, he looking at me. He said, man, I need a knife, Joe T, man. I promise, man, I'm finna put. I said, man, hold on. I said, hold on. I said, we ain't. He said, no. He said, man, Joe T, I promise I'm finna send one on the live fight. He's going on the live flight, Joe T. I said, what happened? He said, man, I'm sitting down here in the cell, right? I'm down here talking to my girl. I ends up getting she's gonna give me $50 on Cash App, right? So when I get the 50 on the when I'm finna get the 50 on the Cash App, Abdullah comes to the cell. So before she sends the Cash App, I tell Abdullah, I put the phone, because I don't want her to hear that I'm trying to get some out. I'm telling her I'm gonna get me a couple caps of cigarettes, right? A couple caps of that tobacco, right? So I said, can you get me some of that ice? He said, yeah, I go over and get us a good deal. He said, how much? He said, my girl about to give me $50. What we can get for 50? He said, man, I'm gonna go over and get us right. He gonna double up for me. It's one of my Muslim brothers. He says, all right, he said, man, just tell her send the Cash out to boom, 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 and then the note put for Abdullah. He said, hey, bite, can you send it? What's that Cash App again? The guy's gonna sell me the tobacco. He's right here. He's about to sell me the brown right now. What you say that Cash App was? You say you give me 4 caps, right? So I tell him, look, okay, this is the Cash App, babe. I give her the Cash App. She tells me I sent the money. She sends me a screenshot, right? So I show Abdullah the screenshot. I say, go over and holler at your guy and let him know he needs to send that tobacco over here. Let him know I'm ready. He was like, all right. So he leaves out and say, all right, babe, I appreciate you. I'm going to make sure he take care of that. I'll call you back later, let you know I'm good. So I get off the phone, Joe T. 30 minutes goes by. I watched him go across that hall. I watched him, Joe T. So I knew he wasn't over here in this unit. I didn't want trying to see where he was getting from. He goes across the hall. While he's over at 10, 15 minutes, I got to use bathroom. So I go in and use bathroom. As I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, I know it ain't taking that long unless he's got closed in over there in that unit when he went over and that police was tripping about opening that door. So when I get through using bathroom, I wash my hands and stuff, and my cellie gonna tell me when I come out of the cell, what you and Abdullah got going on. I told him, you need to mind your business. That ain't got nothing to do with you. Like he told me that night he was getting up out of the bed. My cellie's gonna say to me, now, Abdullah ain't straight. He probably gonna try to run off with your money. I told my silly right then and there, Joe T, ain't nobody gonna run off my money, not in here in this penitentiary where we gotta live together. They gotta be out of their mind if they think they're gonna take some money from me. So I'm standing in this part, Joe, 30 minutes goes by. 30 minutes. So at that point, I walks over across the hallway, that door's open. That door's open, Joe T. I go through that door, and when I go in there, I holler, Abdullah, Abdullah, Abdullah. By the third time I said this man's name, somebody tells me, oh, he went back across the hallway about 15 minutes ago. So when he say about 15 minutes ago, I started doing my math. Maybe he came in when I was on the toilet. So I come back in the unit, and I'm hollering, Abdullah. He look in the mirror. This boy done put that scratch on my face. I don't know if it was him or his brother, but I'm gonna get both of them. So I walk back, I come back, and I say, Abdullah. His Muslim brother can walk up and dance me. So at that point, I go over to the cell where I know where he be chilling with his white Muslim brother, right? So I go over here, and when I go in there, I confront him. I ask him, hey, where's that ice? Joe T, guess what he tells me? I said, what'd he tell you, white boy Rick? Commercial break me, please. If y'all ain't hit me with a super chat, hit me with a super chat one time for the one time. We got 718 people on here. We only got 186 likes. Let's get them likes up real quick. Y'all hit the like button. It don't cost you nothing to hit the like button. If you ain't sent the guy a super chat, send the guy a super chat. And as you can see, man, we back on the mission with the books. If you ain't ordered a book, the link is in the bio. Go get the book. It's on sale right now for $15. We back pushing the book because, listen to me, I didn't want to say it, but y'all gonna hear it first. I'm probably about to shoot the series over about my life. Yeah, it's time to go now. I done had too many people hit me up talking about we want. I said, you know what? At this point, I'm all chips in. I'm gonna shoot the life of Boo Baker myself. So if you ain't one and got the book and you want to support the kid, if you ain't got the membership and you ain't got the Patreon, you ain't listen to me. You ain't about to go get you a book, even if you don't read. Cause right now we finna do this. So and I'm getting into personal development now. If you need any help with social media, your business, your friendship, your relationship, something you got going on, you're going to have to come over to the membership or you're going to have to go to the Patreon. You could DM me on Instagram, BAKERII. Any questions that you got, I'm going to respond to them and I'm going to put your message on there. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the guy who asked me about the PTSD earlier, I get a lot of questions about mentorship, so that's what we got going on one time for the one time. So, he said, guess what he tells me, Joe T? I said, what'd he tell you? He gonna tell me, you're a junkie. I'm a Muslim. They gonna take my word over yours any day. You can chalk that. Joe T, soon as I'm talking about, Joe T, man, my brain went berserk in that. I couldn't believe that somebody was telling me to my face that they were taking something from me, Joe T. This man said, you gotta chalk that. Joe T, like I wanted to do my selling. I said, I'm about to clean this clock. I cocked my fist back so far, Joe T. I just knew, I said, I'm about to knock his head off. And his Muslim brother, before I could even do it, hits me in my jaw, Joe T. I'm talking about, he hits me in my jaw. At that point, all I could see was red, Joe T. Listen to me, Joe T. Everything started moving in slow motion, and it wasn't because how hard he hit me. It was because I said, I'm about to catch another charge up in here. I know this man just didn't get in my business with another man and hit me in my jaw when I was getting ready to hit this man in his. Joe T, I started just swinging all over the place. Joe T, they was just knocking me around. But you know me, Joe T, I wasn't going. So I gets up, man, next thing you know, my face is up against the wall, right? And the other brother, he's hitting me in my side. He's hitting me in my side. He keeps pushing my face up against the wall like this here. And then how I got this scratch right here, Joe T, after he pushed my face down and he scratches me and I go to swing. And when I went to swing, I don't know how he did it, Joe T, but it was like he Goldberged me in there. He hits me, boom, football tackle me, waterboard me. I'm talking about Bobby Boucher, me, Joe T. He hits me. As I'm going down, I'm still doing the Johnny Bravo. I'm still, and my head, is it something on my head right here, Joe T? Is it a knot right there? It feels like it. I said, man, this dude hurt cry. He said, man, is it he said, when he Goldbergs me, my head hits the thing. His Muslim brother's over top of me. He leans over me and he tells me everything that happened in this cell stays in this cell. That's what he told me, Joe T. So at that point, I knew they had me. I was out of breath. Joe T, I'm sitting down, I said, all right. I know not to do no business with you, because at this point, I said, I'm about to go get me a knife. I'm about to go get me a knife, and I'm gonna make sure both of y'all gonna feel that knife. So Joe T, can you get me a knife? I said, no, I can't get you no knife. I said, I'll tell you what I can't do though. I said, from my understanding, they already got Abdullah on the investigation around here. He says, what we talking about, a cross out? Cause hey, Joe T, one way or another, Abdullah, he's got to get it. He's got to get it. I said, let me holler at him. He said, holler at Abdullah? Holler at him for what, Joe T? I said, I'm gonna make him pay you back double. Man, I don't want no money, Joe T. It ain't about the money no more. This man and his mother brother gonna put his hands on me, Joe T. I want a one-on-one with both of them. I want to fight Abdullah first, and after I get done with him, I want the other one. And I want the other one to stand in there and watch me. I want Abdullah to stand in there and watch, see what I do to his Muslim brother. That's what I'm gonna do, Joe T. I don't want the money no more. I said, we're gonna get the money back, and then they not gonna let you fight him. But Joe T, that's those prison politics right there. See, that's why I don't like prison politics. They think because I ain't affiliated, I can't fight. I don't get to fight people that's affiliated or got religious beliefs. They don't think I could get a one. That's not, no, Joe T. I want a one-on-one with both of them, or I'm gonna go get my knife. I said, let me holler at him first. See, Joe T, you don't listen to me, but okay, whatever, okay. He leaves out of the cell. I come out, now I'm messing with white boy Rick. Now what we ain't gonna do is be running around here like, you know what I'm saying? I fool with white boy Rick. You ain't choking, then y'all done jumped on him down here. I come, hey, Abdullah. I'm saying his name out loud because now I'm playing chess. This ain't checkers. I'm saying Abdullah because I want his brothers to say what Joe T need to holler at him for. Joe T affiliated. Joe T ain't a Muslim. Joe T don't never holler at him. 9 times out of 10, somebody just seen white boy Rick come out and say, why is Joe T hollering at Abdullah? I come out and say, hey, Abdullah. Hey, hey, where Abdullah at? Man, he's somewhere running around here. I said, man, I need to holler at him, man. He said, man, let me hold on. Let me go see if he over here in the cell. Let me go over here in the cell right quick. So he go over there, boom, 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 boom. Abdullah, he point up there where I'm at. He come out and said, what's up? I said, man, I need to holler at you. I'm saying all of it in the park because I'm finna set this chess move up. He said, all right, I'll be up there in a minute. I said, bet that. The Muslim brother run up the stairs. What's up, Joe T? Everything good? He said, we need to holler at you. Say, you need to holler it up. He said, I done did something. I said, oh, yeah. But I said, let me take care of my business first. You know what I'm saying? I won't put his business in stress. I just need to holler at him. He said, all right. He said, man, he said, everything good, though? Like, I said, yeah, everything straight. I just need to holler at him real quick. He said, bet. He gone back down the step, right? Abdullah come out of the cell, boom. Him and the Muslim brother, they crossed paths. I guess he asked him, he just came up and asked me, was I straight? Like a security issue, right? They walking up the stairs together at this point. So as they walking up the stairs together, I said, hey, I said, man, I need to holler at him one-on-one. He said, all right, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? He was like, that's bro. I said, that's cool. I said, I don't got none of the guys up here with me. I said, he don't need nobody with him. He was like, oh, okay. He was like, you good? He was like, yeah, I'm straight. He was like, man, what's up, Joe T? I said, step in the cell real quick with me. He said, all right, I walk in. He come in behind me. Man, bless his ear. I said, man, pull the door real quick. He pulled the door. He said, man, he stand like this here, right? He in a penitentiary. He coming, he let me know he standing on business. I guess he stand. I said, man, I said, what you got going on with my guy? He was like, who? I said, white boy Rick. He like, man, that's my business, Joe T. He was like, man, I came from, I'll let you, because I know, you know what I'm saying, you decent dude, stand-up guy. He was like, you know what I'm saying? He was like, hey, ain't none of your business. I said, I'll tell you what is my business, though. I said, you think you really finna be running around here getting over on my people, you run around here getting high? I said, we're going to have to do something about that, my guy, because that ain't what we do. Because he said, what you mean getting high? I said, you think I don't know what's going on? I said, White boy Rick done already told me the business. I said, what I'm gonna do is, I see that horn he was on? See, that belong to me. See, I know his people. I said, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go and holler at his girl. I'm gonna tell his girl, send me that screenshot. And then I'm gonna go holler at Ocnem, and I'm gonna let Ocnem know what you did. And then I'm gonna backtrack, and I'm gonna find out who it is that you got going, who you going over to get that out. He said, hold on. He said, man, who you think you talking to? He like, bro, I said, you might wanna chill. I said, cause listen, I'm gonna go holler at Ocnem, I'm gonna tell him what's going on. I said, 9 times 10, you know they got them drug tests up there. I said, I'm sure Ocnem got a hold of some of them drug tests. I said, if they drug tests, I said, you gonna find a drug test? I said, I'll tell you what you gonna do then. I said, you gonna pay him back double. He said, man, I ain't getting him nothing. He said, I'll go over and get him some ice. Like, I said, no. He said, he don't even want the money. He want a one-on-one. I said, but what you gonna do is you gonna pay him back double. And if he choose to go in your mouth when he pay you, then it's gonna be a one-on-one. He was like, man, Joe T, I don't know who you think you talking to. He was like, man, this the penitentiary. You all in dude being the main dude, the junkie, man. I said, no, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I said, because if that was somebody that was affiliated, you would have never tried to pull this move. And then y'all jumped him down there. And so both of y'all probably getting high. I said, so what you want to do, Op? Man, Joe T, man, come on, man. I said, bro, I'm not even finna play. I said, I'm going to walk out of this cell. I'm going to go holler at Op that came up here and hollered at me because he asked me, was it a problem? And then I'm going to tell Op, yeah, it's a problem. And I'm going to get them to come up here, and I promise you, I'm going to get that screenshot from his gal. And that screenshot going to say what? For Abdullah. And then get what? You've been down there getting high with his seller. His seller owe me some money. I'm going to clear his debt to tell the truth. I said, so what you want to do? He said, man, come on, bro. I said, bro, either you finna go pay my guy double. He said, go on, do whatever you got to do. I ain't paying him double. I give him some ice or give him his 50 back, but I ain't giving him 100. I said, say less. He walk out of the cell. I come from, hey, man, hold on, Joe T, man, hold on. I said, nah, because now what you going to do, you going to pay him double, and you going to have to answer the Ocnem. Because you already know if I bring this to Ocnem, they going to make you pay it back anyway. I said, you playing with the wrong one. White boy Rick, let me holler at you real quick, homie. Hey, funny folk, come here, let me holler. Hey, come here real quick, bro. They come down there. I said, look, funny folk, check this out real quick. I said, this ain't got nothing to do with GD. I said, it's personal. I said, but it's probably going to turn into GD business. So right now, I just need you to stand right here. You know what I'm saying? So if any commotion happen, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to say that money was mine. He said, what money? I said, man, I'm going to say that I let white boy Rick hold $50. He was trying to take care of something. Abdullah finessed him out of the money. And now I'm trying to tell him he need to straight that because they come from me. And so, because he was finna flip something he was trying to get on, that money come from mine. So at the end of the day, that's my money. I said, white boy, I said, I'm going to be real with you. White boy Rick was trying to get half. Boom, he gave the money to Abdullah. Abdullah been getting the ice. And I just told him, they done jumped my boy. He said, they jumped too. Hey, white, come here, Rick. He said, man, what's going on, Joe T? I'm finna get my one-on-one. I said, nah, I said, right now, I'm just letting bruh know. You know what I'm saying? Why? He said, yeah, funny folk, man, them boys done jumped me down there about that $50, man, over some ice. What funny folk said, hold on, white boy Rick, walk off real quick. He said, so what you asking me to do, Joe T? I said, I ain't asked you to do nothing. I said, just stand right here. You AA in the situation. I'm finna straighten this out. By this time, Ock coming up the steps, right? He was like, man, what's going on, Joe T? Abdullah say, man, he on some bull. Ock, and he ain't talking about nothing. I said, now just step in the cell real quick. Funny folks said, you sure you want to? I said, man, it is what it is. We all step in the cell, man. Bless the cell. At this point, the guy's coming down there. Pop, pop, pop. Hey, Joe T, what's up, man? Bro, everything straight? Yeah. Pop the door. They come in, boom. Them coming down there, man, what's going on? By the time everybody, I said, what's up, Abdullah? What's going on? He said, man, come on, man, Joe. I said, what's going on here? I said, he owe my guy, white boy Rick, some money. I said, ain't he been getting high? They was like, dude, what? I said, yeah, he ran out with some money that belonged to me. White boy Rick was supposed to be taking care of something for me. He went and bought some ice with it, and he was down there with the Muslim brother right here. White boy Rick come over to confront him, and they jumped him. They was like, hold on, what's going on? What's going on? I said, you don't believe me? Get white boy Rick in here, and I'll show you the proof that he went over and got it, and we can find out who Cash App that is across the hallway. I said, at this point, white boy Rick trying to get a one-on-one, and I just told him he can either pay white boy Rick back double, we can kill it. But now he talking about he'll just give him back the money. I said, nah, we'll go holler at Ocnem, we'll let Ocnem solve it. I said, but one thing for sure, two things for certain, he gonna pay that money back because that money belong to me. all the guys was like, man, what's going on, bro? What's going on? Like, for real, bro? I said, that money belonged to me. He was trying to flip that. He was going to bring that back to me. And dude ran off with the money. And when it done something with it, I said, dude going to pay that money back. That's what's going to go on, or it's finna be a problem. They look it up, dude, like, hey, Ock, man, what's going on, bro? I said, man, hey, pop the door real quick. Pop. Hey, white boy Rick, I tell you what, Abdullah holler, man, he want to get a one-on-one, he can get a one-on-one, and I give him his little 50 back, Ock them holler. Now, what he talking about you doing ice? I said, oh, y'all need to handle all that over there in that cell. That ain't got nothing to do with over here. I just wanted to address the issue. After y'all get through rapping about that, let me know how y'all want to pay that money back, because one thing for sure, two things for certain, that money gonna come back. That's for sure. They leave out of the cell. Ock get what they call lashes. They pow, pow, pow. I don't know how many lashes they gave, but they hit him all across the back, and he had to move to another part. And he gave white boy Rick back that money, and white boy Rick ended up getting his one-on-one. Now, I said all that to say this right here. Addictions are something serious, because people with addictions, they desperate, they do not care who it affects, who's gonna get involved, they don't care what you lose, they don't care what. Addictions can be very detrimental, not only to the person who getting high, but to the people that that person is connected to. Because my brother right now was one of the biggest dope boys in the city, turned into whatever he is today. Some of the same people he used to serve, some of the same people that was his home, and some of the same people that he went to school with, played basketball with, spent all night with, had the same, I'm talking about, did all kind of stuff together. These same people are serving my brother drugs. And I used to get upset, because deep down in my spirit, I would say they wrong. But then I realized even the person who's selling the dope is an addict. How can I be mad? Because one thing about a person with addiction, they don't care nothing about nobody but themselves. I watched when that girl out here in Fort Worth passed away from an overdose because of an addiction. The person who sold it to her knew she had an addiction. He didn't care. Sold it to her anyway. She did it, overdose, passed away. I also watched somebody coming out, because this girl used to make content. It was a dude who used to buy content from her. He was talking about how she was such a good person. And he broke down crying because this girl had lost her life. True enough, it's a tragedy when anybody passes away, for whatever the case may be. This man was in tears because of his addiction. Because now the person that was supplying him is gone. It ain't had nothing to do with his real sorrow of a person losing their life. It's because he can't feed his addiction no more, because this person is no longer here. The people with addictions are selfish. They do not care. Listen, a manipulative person can have that can be an addiction. You're addicted to manipulating and getting over on people, and you've done it for so long because people continue to do what worked for them. And people that manipulate, they don't care who they hurt. They addicted to getting over. You at the point of where you don't even have to get over, and you still getting over. People, it's so many people. It's so many. What is your addiction? That is the question is, what is your addiction? It could be watching the type of, what is your addiction? I don't know what yours is, but listen, if you ain't already sent your boy a super chat, send your guy a super chat. Send your guy a super chat one time for the one time. If you enjoyed this live, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you ain't already hit the like button. And look, I got the book back on sale. I got 1,000 books. Man. I'm finna get on the road. Like I said I was. I'm finna pick the cities I'm going to. I don't even know if I'm gonna go to a mall. Hold on, Vanessa. I don't even know if I'm gonna go to a mall. I'm actually thinking about just doing events and letting my people come and see me in person, tell a story, and bring my books and stuff with me instead of going in the malls. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. What is my addiction? Let me think of something I'm comfortable with saying online. Now, I'm a straight shooter, so I'm gonna say what mine could be at times. When I'm bored, my sexual desires uh, get the best of me and distract me. Uh, that's just, they say confess your faults to one another. I ain't gonna sit here and try to sugarcoat nothing. When I get bored or when I get overwhelmed, instead of doing what I want to do, I allow that to be my guilty pleasure. And it takes away from my energy, it takes away from my creativity, it takes away from my focus, my determination. It takes, and that's just me being completely honest. I know for a fact when I'm not feeding that, I am super duper focused. But I can get overwhelmed when I know I should be doing more than what I'm doing. When I know I'm supposed to be doing more than what I'm doing, I try to distract myself, and that's my guilty pleasure. And that's just me shooting it straight. Like, I hope that helps somebody even hearing me say it, because Tia Johnson, you said you want me to elaborate on what I'm saying right now? Uh, okay, let me try to elaborate like this. Some people self-sabotage relationships because it's too good to be true. They self-sabotage because sometimes they don't think they're good enough for the person that's in their life. My self-sabotage is that guilty pleasure. My self-sabotage is sometimes I don't think I'm great enough to continue to go. Sometimes I don't think I can continue to be perform at the level I'm performing. And instead of constantly doing my research and constantly sharpening my craft, I get in my mind and I have that guilty pleasure to distract me from the overwhelming feeling or the fear that I'm not facing. If that's, you know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. The fear that I have of you gonna blow, it scare me at times. So what I do is I self-sabotage by distracting myself in little moments, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah, that's just me being honest. That's just me being honest, man. I don't like I most definitely don't never like getting on the internet and making people thinking I'm perfect or I don't listen. I have them. I have weak moments. I cry. I got people that I call when I'm down. I don't share that with everybody because I understand that sometimes social media ain't the place to share all that, because sometimes that comment section can be ruthless. And if somebody vulnerable in that time and somebody say something triggering, because you want encouragement, you want people to pour, especially when like I feel like this is not pride, this is not ego. In the 7 years I've been home, I've did my best to pour out positivity, to pour out my heart and what I believe in to the world. So when you want to be vulnerable and you expecting that back, and people take them moments to take shots at when you show them that your armor is flawed, them folks will take that opportunity to knock you down even harder. Like jealousy is real, envy is real, and hatred is real. So I got my accountability circle. I got people, you know what I'm saying? But I don't never want to get on here and make people think that I'm perfect. Nah, I ain't even gonna do that. But yeah, that's the truth. That's mine. That's one of them for sure. That's one of them for sure. My second addiction, if I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna go ahead and say it too. My second addiction can be making money. I remember at one point in time I was going live a lot, and I know how much money I was making on live. I know that being a speaker can be a blessing and a curse. So many people have failed because the Most High gave them that gift. But sometimes you have to realize humility is everything. You have to come down because people are looking up to you. And sometimes them people that are, and I'm just gonna be honest, because I don't know no other way to be, because I owe it. Because I'm in debt to him. So if it's on me to say it, if it's gonna make somebody stop following me or think something, then it is what it is. But I'm gonna say it because it's on my heart to say it. At times, if you don't apply humility and you realize, oh, these people love you and these people care and these people are, and sometimes you look at that as you say, I'm gonna keep making my money. No, that's why I try to keep the balance of trying to give back, trying to work with people, trying to respond to messages. It's just, I have to keep reminding myself that it's bigger, the mission is bigger than the money. The mission is bigger than the money. And that's the truth. That's the truth. The money that I've made, I've invested it. I've done what if you pay attention, I don't never get on here being flashy. I don't feel like the money is to be flashy. I feel like the money is to keep the journey going and helping people who are a part of this journey with me. So that's my other addiction. I have to check myself at times and say, hey, it's bigger than the money. It's bigger than the money. So yeah, they're my two. What's yours? Jump in the comment section or hit me on Instagram, BAKERIII. But I'm finna jump out the live, man. I appreciate every super chat. If you ain't got the book, I got the book back on sale. Mess with the Kid. The book is on sale for $15. Even if you don't read, man, send it to somebody else or buy a book. I send them to prison. If you buy a book and you leave a note and say send this to somebody in prison, I'll send it to somebody in prison. But we back on the journey, man. We finna get back to doing testimony. We finna get back to sharing this word. We finna get back to what's going on. And y'all know what time it is. It's your boy.